Well, this is Evangelist George McTire from the Word of God Ministry, and I wanted to make another report to you about my recent conversation with Joe Madison, also known as the Black Eagle, on Sirius XM channel 126. Today is December the 22nd, and at about 7:35 this morning, I was put through to Joe Madison, who is a good person, I believe, at heart. But he is just so misguided that it's beyond belief. Now, he had announced earlier in the program, a little bit before I got was decided to call him, about how he doesn't mind people disagreeing with him, that he welcomes that, but he wants you to present some facts and things like that, and so forth and so on. He said he don't like to put up with people just calling it. He calls them trolls, and that he doesn't have a problem with people calling in if they present the facts and so forth. So me, I have facts. I have truth on my side. I have the Word of God. So I took him up on his offer and called in. Well, when this call screener come on and asked me what did I want to talk about, I told him I wanted to disagree with him about the direction of this nation and the black community, primarily because things are going in the wrong direction if he thinks that the Biden administration is going to be good for America. So the call screener took my name and so forth. So when he came off of his break, I was connected to him. And so after the greeting, how's I doing and so forth, and I told him all right and things like that. Then he asked me, he said, now, what is it you wanted to talk about? And I said, Joe, I know that you are a person that cares about the black community and the condition of this nation and so forth. Then I said, however, unless this nation and the black community gets back to God through Jesus Christ, I don't care who you put in office or what they try to do, how much clout they have, things aren't going to. And before I could get a chance to finish saying that, he says, George, I know what you're talking about, blah, 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 this, that, and other. In fact, Fannie Lou Hamer said this. And so he plays this little clip about something that Fannie Lou Hamer said about the fact we got to do more than talk. You got to get up and do action, and this, that, and other things, and carrying on like that. And then he says, goodbye, George, click. Now, once again, this is the second time I've called him, the second time I've tried to address an issue which is fact. This is not made up. This is not something that the news media talked about. This is not something that I get from listening to people like Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity or any of the right wing conservatives or anything else like that. I'm looking at the circumstances that are being reported in the news media, what people are saying, and basically what God has to say about these things and what the consequences of those things are. Joe Madison, when he hears, like I said, I didn't get a chance to say the other part, because the other part that I was going to say was this. After he played the Fannie Lou Hamer clip, I was trying to tell him the other part of the problem is that no Christian should be a part of or be supporting the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party is trying to move as far away from God through Jesus Christ as they can get. But as usual, I never got to say it, because just like the time when I called him back in February of this year, 2020, the same kind of thing happened when he asked me why was I supporting Trump, and I said because Trump was the lesser of two evils. And then he said, "Well, who is the greater of the two evils?" And as soon as I said the Democratic Party, he hung up. He didn't want to hear it. See, this is the problem that you have with these black, supposed to be black leaders of the black communities that care so much about the well-being and the welfare of the black community, but they don't want the black community to hear the truth about anything they say. Oh yeah, they'll talk about how much friends they are with the black community, how they are saying and doing things that they that will help the black community uh, get out of the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, of the economic conundrum that we find ourselves in. But at the same time, when he opts not to allow somebody to have to present their full thought, which it wasn't going to take but another minute or so, when he hears or knows or he has a sense, he always talks about he's got this third ear, that a lot of times when people say stuff, he's listening not with his two regular ears, but he's supposed to be his third ear, or his so-called spiritual ear, I guess, or maybe it's his black ear, that all of a sudden he realizes that I'm about ready to say something that he does not have a logical answer for, that's going to show him up as being nothing more than another instrument by which the enemy is using to destroy and keep the black community under the foot of the Democratic Party. He hangs up because he doesn't want them to hear that, because if they hear it, they might get to thinking and then start questioning him as to, well, why are you really telling us to do this? He can't handle that. And like I said in the clip I did once before about this, Joe Madison always plays this clip from the movie A Few Good Men, when you have a face-off between Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise, when Tom Cruise says, "I want the truth," and Jack Nicholson says, "You can't handle the truth." But it seems to me like that in that particular exchange, Tom Cruise, Joe Madison is the Tom Cruise part, and Jack Nicholson is me, which I would say to him, "You want the truth, Joe Madison? You can't handle the truth. That's why you keep hanging up."